What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video. Today I'm going to give my honest feelings about Days Gone. Days Gone is a PS4 exclusive, third-person, open-world, survival action game developed by Bend Studio, which is one of Sony's family of first-party studios, along with Guerrilla Games, Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, and a few others. This is the biggest issue Days Gone has, as the recent exclusives coming from Sony's first-party studios lately have all been extremely polished Game of the Year quality games that excel at nearly everything they do, so the expectations of a PlayStation exclusive are quite high. Unfortunately, Days Gone is not quite at the same level as its peers, and is punching above its weight. In Days Gone, you play as biker Deacon St. John, who after getting split up from his wife at the beginning of a viral outbreak that turns the infected into violent creatures called Freakers, is doing all he can in order to find his wife, who he has no idea is alive or dead. Gameplay consists of doing missions for different camps like collecting bounties, destroying Freaker nests, taking out bandit camps, as well as fetch quests and many other things you would expect from an open-world game. The combat consists of using melee weapons, either found or constructed, as well as using ranged weapons to take out enemies. In this post-apocalyptic world, ammo is scarce, so patience and strategy are key, as you want to be methodical in the way you tackle missions. Your primary means of traversal is your drifter bike, which needs to be properly maintained and kept fueled up if you're to be successful. Days Gone feels like a mix of several games. This open world kind of feels like Red Dead Redemption 2, but with a motorcycle instead of a horse. The way it attempts to tell its post-apocalyptic story kind of feels like The Last of Us, and the missions kind of feel like Far Cry. The biggest thing that sets Days Gone apart from those other games, though, is the Freaker hordes, large herds of Freakers that can number in the hundreds. Days Gone does everything well, but it's kind of like that saying, a jack of all trades but a master of none. Let's not forget, though, that Bend Studio's last console game was a Siphon Filter game for the PlayStation 2, with its more recent projects being portable versions of Resistance and Uncharted for the PSP and PS Vita. When taking that into account, it's actually quite impressive what Bend Studios accomplished with a very ambitious project like Days Gone. I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I first started Days Gone, I wasn't liking it. Some technical issues and design choices also didn't help. For example, I experienced many audio issues during cutscenes, with the audio being off by quite a bit.
I wouldn't put it that way.
I'm just fucking with you, Deke. I think it's a great idea. I will go check some parts, and I will radio what I need. Cool?
Okay.
Okay.
There are also small details that didn't make any sense, like your flashlight, for example. Here I am in this mine, and my flashlight is on, right? But where's the light coming from? In Uncharted, when you turn on your flashlight, you can see that the light is coming from a flashlight like this one, sitting inside a vest pocket. In Days Gone, you can clearly see the light comes from nowhere. There are many other things, such as every time you're transitioning to a cutscene, it fades to black for a couple seconds. Then it does it again, transitioning out of the cutscene, which kind of ruins immersion a bit. Also, while in cutscenes, lip syncing is on point, but outside of cutscenes, it's not even close. I also experienced random freezes and frame rate drops, even when just walking through camp. The other thing is they wanted to have a level of realism in the game, so melee weapons break, weapon suppressors deteriorate as you use them, meaning you constantly have to purchase and equip new ones. Your motorcycle takes damage from bumps in the road or small jumps and constantly needs to be repaired, as well as having an actual fuel level that drops as you ride, requiring you to either find red gas cans to gas up, stopping at gas stations to gas up, or going all the way back to a camp to gas up. Also, there are fast travel points you can unlock, but if you don't have enough fuel, you can't fast travel. However, your flashlight battery lasts forever. And on missions where it's mandatory to go from point A to point B, such as missions where you're following someone, your bike now instantly has infinite fuel and is invincible. There are also multiple times where instead of a cutscene, you're forced to walk really slow with someone while you carry on a conversation. The world also feels pretty empty at times, and while you can enter 99% of all buildings you see, rarely are they even worth exploring. All of these small issues, plus others in the beginning, were really causing me to not like the game, especially since I was comparing it to other PlayStation exclusives that are just on another level. For example, in Uncharted 4, Nathan Drake's watch actually works. Like, that's how detailed those games are. His fucking watch actually works. And in this game, Deacon St. John doesn't even actually have a flashlight. Just completely different level. As I continued playing, though, a funny thing started happening. The story started getting better, and I was getting used to the game's quirks and began to accept the game for what it was and stopped comparing it to the other exclusives. And the longer I played it, the more fun I started to have, especially once you started upgrading your weapons and your bike. I can honestly say now that I'm really enjoying the game. I saw on review sites like IGN that they knocked the game for having repetitive missions. They're not any more repetitive than the missions in Far Cry 5 or Metal Gear Solid 5, yet they love those games. I actually feel like a lot of these outlets were ragging on the game a little too hard, because if you just go by what they're saying, you would think that Days Gone is trash, and it's actually far from it. Days Gone is actually quite a good game. Is it the level of polish or execution on par with Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted 4, or God of War? Absolutely not. But that aside, it's still a good game. And if this is going to be a new franchise, which I hope it will be, this is a fantastic foundation to build upon for a sequel. Let's not forget that the first Uncharted, aside from feeling like a summer blockbuster because of second to none voice acting and mocap, it was not an amazing game to play. Its gunplay wasn't dialed in yet, and the levels were very linear feeling. But it was a great foundation, and then Uncharted 2 happened, and the rest is history. So with all that said, to me, Days Gone is a great game. Not an amazing game, but still a great game, and I would recommend anyone pick it up. And with it taking 30 plus hours to complete, it's easily worth the $60. Well, that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you playing Days Gone? How do you like it? Or are you planning on picking Days Gone up, or is it a pass? Also, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next Supernova.